Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for tuning back in. Let's get into another pick-a-card reading. Today I want to focus on a relationship. I want to focus on the idea of what the other person is thinking. I have in mind love relationships, friendships, close relationships, but you might have something else in mind, which is totally fine. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do 4 separate readings. I'm going to do 4 9-card portraits, but I'm going to get them out of these 2 decks. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to split each deck into 2, and that way we're going to have 4 piles. So let's go right ahead and prepare our piles. This is 2 piles here, and let's do the same with the silhouettes deck. And let's also split that. So I'm just going to do this to sort of shuffle them up. This is pile 1. This is pile 2, pile 3, and pile 4. So the first reading will come out of here, the second out of here, the third out of here, and the fourth out of here. So I want you to focus on this person whom you're wondering what they're thinking about, and pause the video if you need to, by all means, and the timestamps are in the description box. So I will see you in your reading. Okay, so here is pile 1. I have about half the deck of the Titania's Fortune cards, and I'm going to deal out a 9-card portrait. And remember, we are focusing on what this person is thinking about you. Okay, some really interesting cards for pile 1. So it's really on point because we have both the man and the dog in the cards. And we have the man right as the first card. So you could be the man, the other person could be the man. The idea is that there is a person that comes into play which is very much aligned with the question. Now, there is also the dog. It is a card of friends and friendships. So this is someone who is a friend of yours, and because of the heart and the heart knight to the dog, it's possible that this is a friendship as opposed to a love relationship, but it could be developing, or perhaps you are wondering, or they are wondering, if there are mutual feelings. Now, something that clearly stands out from the cards is that there is a challenging situation here. We have the snake, which is typically very tricky in love and in love relationships. It is often associated with deception, cheating, and things like that. I don't think this is the case here, but it can be more about, but it can bring this into the picture possibly. I think it's more about disappointment and really not knowing how to handle the situation. I also think this is a person who's sort of taken a step back, who's shied away, and also possibly a bit hurt and not sure really how to approach the situation with you moving forward. We have the bird and coffin. And what is interesting is that this specific combination mirrors the snake as well. The snake is also a card of silence, and the bird is a card of conversation, but the coffin is a card of endings and an uneventful phase. So we see from this combination and the snake that there could have been a time, or there is a time, that there's a no contact situation. And also this person is not really sure how to approach you. What's nice is that we have the rider in the middle. The rider is an active card, and it's a card of the messenger. So it's very likely that this person is wanting to reach out to you, wanting to get in touch, and wanting to reconnect. We also have the heart, which is a lovely card to see in this context. So there are some challenges here, but there is an intention to reconnect. There is a kind intention, although we need to get into the details as well. So let's go right ahead and do that. Let's start with the corner cards. The man and heart really points to kind feelings, loving feelings, and that is really a reassuring combination. It is mostly a card, a combination of friendship as opposed to love relationships, but it depends on who you focused on. It may well be about love. And the second pair of corner cards is also really positive because the bird and sun represent the light at the end of the tunnel, the sun that comes through after a dark night, the idea that there has been a time of anxiety, but now the light of the sun shines on this and can clarify matters. So the corner cards are really positive. And like we said, the Rider is also a positive card. It is a fast-moving card. It's the card of the messenger. So there may well be really clear and active intentions to get in touch, to reach out, and want to bring this together. So it's looking like this relationship is going through some kind of fallout, some kind of no contact phase, some kind of distance here. There is inner tension. There seems to be feelings that are bottled up, things that were unsaid. And you know what? It's time to bring them out to the surface. And so hopefully there will soon be an opportunity to do that. Now, when we tie the Rider with the corner cards here, we have the first diagonal. We have a confirmation that this is someone who likes you, someone who wants you, and someone who wants to be in touch with you. So there is an active intention to do that. And in the other diagonal, we have the Bird and Rider and Sun. Now, this is a very positive message because the Rider is a messenger card and the Bird is a card of communication. It is a vocal card. So when we see these together, we see that there is good news coming. There is this person reaching out to you, and there is a clarification of the matter. So like we said in the corner cards, the Bird and Sun really help clarify matters and bring the light at the end of the tunnel. And we see here that there is forward movement towards that. So it's very likely that you are going to hear from this person, that they are going to get in touch with you. In the very least, and in answer to our question, this is what this person wants. They want to reach out to you. They want to be in touch with you. I think they want to rekindle the relationship and the closeness. Now let's look at the rows and columns. In the rows and columns, the more challenging cards are going to come through. In the top row, we have the Man, Snake, and Sun. Now the Snake is really tricky. It would really be challenging normally in the context of relationships. But with the Sun, it can really help minimize the challenge that the Snake might bring. And it also can bring out the more positive aspects of the Snake. So the Snake is actually a very smart card. This is someone who knows what they want. They are goal-oriented. They're diplomatic. And it is also a card of silence. But when we see it with the Sun, there should be some light that is shown on this silence and hopefully brought out. I also think that this person has shied away, has gone away, and they're possibly hurt. But thanks to the Sun, this can help alleviate matters and hopefully turn things around soon enough. I also think that it's possible that the advice of the cards are coming through here with the Snake. The idea of being diplomatic and calm and waiting for the right moment. So I think this person is actually doing that. And when we look at the central row column, which T crosses the top row, then we do see that there is quite a bit of hesitation and that this person could be waiting for the right time to reach out. The Snake and Coffin are very much about turning away and moving away, and we do have a clear confirmation that this person has gone away. It's very likely that they were feeling hurt. It's possible that you had an argument or a fight earlier, and it has driven you apart. And certainly we see this through the central column and the Coffin in the various combinations. But with the Sun, there should be a clarification of matters. Now in the second row, we have a friendship combination. The Dog and Rider is very much about support and good news and someone who comes to your aid. The Cross can be challenging. It certainly would be with the Snake and the Coffin. We'll have a look at the Diamond a bit later. But the Cross is also about burdens. And again, I'm feeling that this person is weighing the idea of getting in touch, and they're feeling the burden of doing that because of the whole situation that I've gone through. But still, I think it's something that they want to do, and they're waiting for the right time. There is good intentions coming through the Dog and Rider, as we saw through the Rider and Sun, as well as the Rider and Heart, as well as the Rider and Sun. So some good intentions coming through, but a bit of a hurdle here, and weighing the situation. Now, like we said, in the bottom row, we saw a combination of silence. The Bird and Coffin is very much a no contact situation, lack of communication, not in touch. And the Coffin and Heart is really about missing someone. So this is a sweet message. This is someone who misses you, who wants to hear from you, and who wants to be in touch again. So some feelings here that are coming through the cards. Now moving on to the columns, we have the man, dog, and bird. This is another confirmation that there's probably going to be communication, or that there was communication in the past. And then when we compare with these columns, which have to do with the present and the future, then we see there is a no contact situation here, like we mentioned. And then this is a very bright combination of clarification and probably healing because of the sun and cross, and also a relationship that is meant to be because of the heart and cross. There can be some regrets, there can be some heavy feelings here, but I do think this is a relationship that is meant to be back together, at least in touch and in communication. And this is someone who wants to reach out. Now, we can look at the diamond as well. We have the dog, snake, cross, and coffin. This is quite a challenging set of cards. The snake and the cross and coffin could be an ending. And here we have the dog, which represents the relationship. So this person is really wondering if the relationship has ended or if there will be an opportunity to be in touch again. I think that they want to be in touch, but I'm not sure how much of an action they are going to take just yet. It seems to be challenging. They're waiting, they're weighing on the situation, and they've sort of curled away from all of this. But what is nice is that the right-hand side column tends to be associated with the latermost parts of the reading. So it's likely that there is a renewal and a healing and some kind of forgiveness that comes through the sun and cross and the cross and heart. And also the fact that the sun is one of the brightest cards of the deck, it can mean wish fulfillment and positive things materializing after having looked at the situation here, after having taken time out and stepped back from all of this. So overall, folks, for pile one, I'm seeing that there is a man in question, friendship is in focus, there seems to have been a no contact situation and a pretty tricky situation to navigate. This is someone who wants to be in touch, who wants to reach out, they want to rekindle the relationship, but they're also hesitating about this, really worried about when would be the right time, how best to do it. Still, I am seeing some bright prospects. We saw this right-hand side column, but also remember, we saw the two diagonals with the rider in between. So to wrap up, this is someone who is thinking about you, they miss you, they want to be in touch, they're probably going to reach out, and things are probably going to be worked out and clarified, and hopefully this challenging episode will be put behind you. So let me know who you were thinking about for this reading. Leave me your thoughts and comments. I'm looking forward to them. I would say, as a takeaway advice, be gentle with this person, and also maybe you gauge the right time until you hear from them. Now, I'm not sure if perhaps before we close I can add that maybe you should reach out to them. I'm hesitant to suggest that. I think it's best to wait it out and to wait for an opportunity where sort of the circumstances bring you together. But again, this is someone who has you in mind, who is thinking kind thoughts generally, but also worried, possibly hurt, and wondering when is the right time to come out of this phase of silence and reach out. This is what they are thinking about when it comes to you. Again, leave me your thoughts and comments. Best of luck with this, and I'm looking forward to our next reading together. Thank you so much for watching. So this is for pile 2. I have half of the silhouette deck here approximately, and I'm going to deal out in 9 card portraits for you, and we are looking at what this person is thinking about you. Okay, look at these cards. We have the ring and the dog in the cards. So the reading is very much on point, very much aligned with our question, really focusing on the relationship. Now the ring is a card for relationships, and not just relationships in general, but committed relationships. It tends to be associated with love and deeper connections, commitments, promises, and the more serious kind of relationships. When we see it with the dog, it points to a love relationship that is coming out of a friendship. So this is someone who is thinking more seriously about you. And like I said, I think this is more about love and friendships and personal relationships, but perhaps you have chosen a different kind of relationship to focus on. And even if it's about work, which it may well be because of the fish, it is still someone who takes you seriously, who wants you to commit to them to you, and really keep you in the loop. The fish is usually associated with money, and like I just said, this can be about work and relationships, ambitions, business partnerships. But when it comes to love, the fish is about attraction, a healthy physical life, and so there can be a lot of chemistry here that brings you together. I have to say all of the cards are positive or neutral. There are no challenging cards in this portrait, so this is really a strong connection. This is someone who wants you, okay? They're thinking of the relationship with you. They want to keep you in their loop. They want to be with you. And it is possible that they're willing to travel or, make changes if they need to in order to come see you, because we have 3 travel cards. We have the ship, road, and stork, and we have the garden, which is the card of place. And the anchor here is not really about travel, but it's more about landing. So this is someone who is willing to go places and go beyond their present boundaries in order to meet you, in order to be with you. This is physical with these cards, but it can also be metaphorical. The idea that this is someone who is willing to go beyond what they're currently living in, their current circumstances, their current limitations in order to reach you. So this is a pretty powerful message. And this is someone who is attracted to you, who wants you, who wants to be with you, who's willing to travel to see you. And I also think they think you're smart. The key is this card, and also the fish. So the fish and key actually are very powerful cards. They're really good for money. It's all about enterprise and success, but it's also about being smart and intelligent. And this is likely someone who feels that you're smart, enterprising, and insightful. The road and garden is about changes to a place. It can mean that there is a parting or leaving from a place. But like I said, in view of all the other cards, I think this is someone who's willing to travel to be with you. This is someone who wants to meet you, who wants to spend time with you, and to go places with you. So these are some really supportive messages for the relationship. And of course, the ring right in the middle of the portrait. So now let's look at the rows and columns. In the top row, we have the fish, anchor, and garden. This is someone who wants to keep you. The garden with the anchor is about staying put, staying in place. And with the fish here, there is a strong pull within the relationship. This is someone who wants to spend time with you. And I think there's a sexual attraction here. They want to have an opportunity to spend more time with you. The fish, ring, and stork can mean travel and changes, especially since we have the ship and stork on either side. By themselves, these 2 cards normally point to migration, like big travels. And with the ring, there could have been changes to a relationship or things happening in relationships. But in the context of this question and this reading, this is someone who's willing to go places with you and also to reach out to be with you. So this is someone who has a lot of energy and initiative and is willing to be invested in you. So this is quite strong for a relationship. It's also someone who wants to explore the relationship. So it's true that although we have the anchor and ring and the dog, this is a very powerful column. We'll get to it in a bit. But the ship, stork, and road, they're not really committed in a relationship. They're more like exploring. But I think that the message is supportive in the sense that this is someone who really wants to see what's in the relationship. They want to make an effort to explore the possibilities with you in this relationship. So I think it's very, very bright. We have the road, dog, and key in the bottom row. Again, there can be changes here. There can be changes that open the door to the relationship. The key is a card of insight and intelligence and brilliance. And we also have the fish as its corner card. So again, this is someone who feels strongly about you, your mind, the kind of person you are. But again, because of the road being this card of movement and exploring and going places, the relationship is really about wanting to take it further. This is someone who is interested in you, who likes you, who thinks you're interesting, who thinks you're smart, and they really want to get into the relationship with you. We have the fish, ship, and road. Clearly, this is about travel because of the ship and road. The fish can be about money, so maybe there's an expense here, or perhaps it's, this person thinks it's really worth spending the time and money to travel to you if they need to, go places together, and of course, metaphorically, explore the relationship. The cards are really powerful sexually as well. There is strong chemistry and really, I would say, a lot of enthusiasm. So some really powerful cards here. In the central column, we have a strong commitment. The anchor and ring is about promises and really sticking to commitments. And the ring and dog is a love relationship that is coming out of a friendship. So this is someone who wants to deepen the connection with you. I think they're willing to commit. Maybe they still are in process of discovering if they want to commit. Maybe both of you are, but their intention is clear. This is someone who's after a serious relationship. They also want a good friendship. They want commitment, and they want the deep connection. So it could be that that's also what they're searching for. Now, if that's also something that you want, I don't know, but this is about their intentions, and this is about what they're thinking. And they are thinking that they have an interest in you, a serious interest, and they want to commit. Probably after a time of exploring and making sure that this is the relationship that they want for them. So really, this can be a next level kind of thing where there is a commitment, and possibly, a marriage or a relationship on that level. We have the garden, stork, and key, which is lovely for positive changes in an environment, in a community, in a society. Maybe this is someone who's willing to make changes, to meet you halfway, to meet you where you are. And with the stork and key, there can be changes that open up the opportunity to deepen the relationship. So the rows and columns are very, very bright. Now, I did read the corner cards and the ring, but I want to focus again on the diagonals. The fish, ring, and key is a powerful combination for a relationship. It's great from a physical perspective. It's very healthy sexually. There's a lot of chemistry and attraction, but the key is also a suggestion that this may be the right relationship. And the road and ring is sometimes associated with a parting, but I'm not really seeing this at all, and especially in view of the main column here and then all of the other bright combinations. Instead, it's really about pursuing this relationship, deepening the relationship. The ring and garden is sometimes associated with a wedding or some kind of marriage or an engagement, and so this could be something that they want or they're after, and their relationship with you is something they're considering to elevate to that level. Again, I don't know if you reciprocate, but this is their intention. They feel really strongly about you. Now, I did look at these cards in terms of love and relationships and intimate relationships, but it's also possible to read the cards in terms of work and money. We have the fish as the money card. The ship is really good for business and trade, and the garden can be about the marketplace, the public, and taking work and services to market. So if that is the kind of relationship that you're looking at, then it's very powerful for a job, for a project, for enterprises. It's a very good reading for customers and making connections and networking and deepening your network and taking a strong position within a community. So it's very powerful work-wise and business-wise and socially as in a broader sense. But it's also really good for friends and friendships and, like we said, in an intimate relationship. We can also look at the diamond of the portrait. The diamond in here, we have the ship, anchor, stork, and dog. So both of these are movement cards, and the anchor and dog strengthen the relationship. There can be a time of exploring. We saw that a few times, but I think that this person lands on you, on this relationship. And I also think there's a lot of trust and support and mutual understanding in this relationship. So it's really an all-around positive reading. This is someone who thinks really strongly about you, willing to commit, takes you seriously, thinks really well of you, is attracted to you. Really, any angle you look at a relationship, the cards cover it in a very strong and a very positive way. So lots of good thoughts towards you. They are taking you seriously. They are thinking of you. They want this relationship with you. And I hope you reciprocate, because there's so much, positive energy coming through this relationship. This may well be it. This may be a serious relationship for the longer term, one that you commit to, one that they are committed to, and definitely one that they want to deepen and explore and spend time with. They are willing to go beyond their limitations to meet you. They want to be with you. There's a lot of chemistry and attraction. So very, very beautiful cards. And like we said, very beautiful across all the different areas of life as well, depending on what kind of relationship you focused on. So let me know your thoughts about this. Leave me your comments. I'm really looking forward to them. Best of luck with all of these beautiful unfoldings that are likely ahead for you based on how they feel about you. Let me know how it goes. And until we meet again, as always, thank you so much for watching, and take very good care of yourself. Okay, here we are with pile 3. This is the second half of Titania's fortune cards. And we are doing a 9-card portrait, asking what the person feels about you, how they're feeling about you. So focus on that, and let's deal out your cards. Wow, these are some really interesting cards. The energy of the cards is one that might shock you. We have the scythe right at the top here, but we also have the letter and book. And when these two cards come up together, they point to something urgent, shocking, like news that wasn't expected. And it's very nice to see the star, clover, and key in the cards, because they are 3 of the brightest cards of the deck. So this is a generally very positive spread. I think what they're thinking of you might shock you. You might not expect what they're thinking of you. And what are they thinking of you? Well, they think really well of you. They think you're smart. The clover and star can point to all around positivity. And that's going to depend on the kind of relationship that you're focused on. So it's wonderful for love, for work, for any other kind of connection. I have to say that the work element is really possible. We have both the lily and the fox, as well as the tower. And these are cards that point to work or the job. The tower can refer to the company itself, like the corporation. It can also refer to someone in authority. So the cards are also really good for work and the practical side of things. But it depends on your relationship. It depends on the kind of relationship that you focused on for this reading. The key is that what they think of you might shock you. It's not something you expect, and they think really well of you. So let's get into the details. Let's start with the corner cards. We have the scythe and book. So this is a combination that breaks the mystery open. The scythe opens up the book. It can be sudden. It can come out of the blue. And like I said, it might shock you, what this revelation is about how they feel about you. And we have the star and fox. And that's a really interesting combination, because the fox can be a little bit challenging, can be a bit negative. It tends to be associated with someone who is self-interested. But I have to say that in the context of love, it can be something sexual, something very attractive. They might think that you're really attractive and you just didn't expect that. It tends to be foxy, if you know what I mean, when it comes to love and relationships. When it comes to work, money, practical affairs, this is probably getting the job, getting the offer, getting the customer, really an opportunity that you might have not expected. So these are some really interesting cards for such a reading. In the center of your portrait, we have the lily the lily can be a sexual card as well. A lot of Lenormand readers see the lily as sexual. And so here we are looking at some sexual element, a lot of attraction that you might not have expected. Very sensual, possibly. It's also very good for work. So again, with the book, this can be about professionalism, knowledge, and as with the Tower, it can be about expertise and being specialized. So this is someone who thinks you are smart, you are an expert. They would consult you for your knowledge. It is really, any way you look at these cards, they're really flattering, very bright. So let's get into the rows and columns. The top row is quite interesting. It's a bit of a different character than the rest of the cards. The Tower can be associated with the past, especially when you see it with a card like the Scythe, because then the idea is like a separation from the past, a release from the past. And with the Fox here, perhaps there could have been an issue, or perhaps it was a past relationship. And with the Scythe here, it can point to a release from the past. And what that probably does is it frees up the person for the relationship, or it relieves you from something you might have thought was going on. The cards are bright in this sense. The Tower and Fox might also refer to your employment, your work, or maybe a manager or a boss or a colleague on the job, possibly a customer if you're in business for yourself. But with the Scythe, there is a radical change here from the way you've done things. The Fox is really good with routine and discipline, and the Tower is associated with the longer term. So it's possible that with the Scythe, there is this idea of changing the way things have been, getting out of your box, getting out of your routine. The revelation or the shocking news about how they feel about you, or in relation to that, sort of breaks you a little bit out of your current limitations, your boundaries, and probably out of theirs as well. So these cards, they're a bit more conservative. They sort of keep you to yourself, doing your thing, doing the right thing and all of that. But the Scythe really breaks this off and suggests to really just shake things up, loosen up, and just do things differently. So this is the broader energy that could be coming through the cards. And like we said, there could be a release from the past, a tricky situation from the past. The central row is a beautiful triplet. We've got the Clover and Key, both wish fulfillment cards. We also have the Lily. It's a neutral card. It's associated with life path. And so this can be a relationship for the long term, especially since we also have the Tower on top of the Lily. So this idea of a life kind of change is possible. And it is really for the best because we have both the Clover and the Key. And like I said, the Lily can also be a sexual card. Many Lenormand readers see it as that. And with the Clover and Key, it might just surprise you just how attracted they are to you if this is about love. If this is about work and money, other practical affairs, you're in for a major opportunity. This could be a serious breakthrough. And so they are thinking of you for this opportunity. So this is a wonderful message. The Star, letter, and book is a wish fulfillment combination. This is news that you want to hear, that you get. And there are other combinations that show that as well. So the news that you want to hear is coming through. And it's probably going to come through out of the blue, unexpected. And I also suspect that it's going to be like beyond your expectations. Like very, very fulfilling. Turning to the columns, we have the Scythe with the Clover and Star. So both of these are also wish fulfillment, all around lucky cards. And with the Scythe, there is a breakthrough, a lucky break, and a major opportunity. The Tower, Lily, and letter is about the long term. This is where we suggested that they want this relationship for the long term, or they think of you as a serious partner. The letter in this context is really about formalities. So if this is someone who wants a relationship with you, which is very likely, then they're thinking for the long term. They could be thinking of proposing. They could be thinking of, making it a point to commit to you over the long term. And it's also a very good combination for work, money, career, because this points to an offer, a serious offer with prospect to grow and get a promotion and to really climb the ladder. So these are all around, these are amazing cards. The Fox Key and Book is figuring out a problem, solving a riddle, and things make sense. So it's like there is a breakthrough here where things make sense and you have the knowledge, the understanding, the information, the revelation that really brings things into this picture that is amazing for you, and things fall into place almost magically. It's also yet another combination that is great for work, money, career. The Fox Key and Book can certainly mean someone who is expert, someone who is specialized, smart, and we have this combination in other, we have this idea in other combinations as well. When we look at the Book and Tower, and the Lily and Tower, the Lily and Key, and the Knights, in any number of knights, there is this idea of someone who is expert, professional, someone who is looked up to. There is a sense of admiration here and really an all-around message of success and empowerment, intelligence, insight. So it's really an amazing reading across any area of life. And it is really good for the work and practical aspect as well. So we read the rows and columns. I want to go back to the diagonals. I don't think I read them. We have the Scythe, Lily, and Book. The Lily and Book can be a professional writer, a professional researcher, an academic, someone educated, someone knowledgeable. And with the Scythe here, maybe there is a revelation around how they feel about you with regards to that. Like they really admire your knowledge, your intelligence, and possibly this is unexpected. But like we said, the Lily is potentially a sexual card as well. So if this is more about love and romance and attraction, then there could be a revelation of their attraction to you. And then the Star, Lily, and Fox is also really good across the board. The Fox, yes, is a bit tricky. It can be about work, but I also think it's a bit like the Key in terms of, they appreciate how intelligent you are. I wonder if there might not be just a bit of envy towards you, like really admiring what you're capable of, and really seeing that side of you. So it is a set of cards that works really well for either area, the personal area or the more public work-related area. But there is a key message here that there is a revelation that breaks open something, brings it out into the surface, and things fall into place as almost magically, making sense and really unlocking a lot of potential. So any way you look at these cards, they are so amazing. We can look at the Diamond. Again, there is this Key and Letter, Clover and Letter with the Tower, which is very good for news and opportunities. The Tower is a bit slower than these cards, but the Tower is also a card of guidance and mysteries unfolding or supporting you in the invisible. And the Key is also like that. So there could be, along with the Clovers, there is that sense of fortune. And, the idea that you're being watched, and that there is like this invisible guidance and support and blessing that is coming to you. So a very powerful revelation. Again, you're probably going to be shocked at how much they admire you, how they feel about you, how they appreciate you, how much they think you're smart, and so on. And this could be a major breakthrough in your work area, your professional area, maybe creative areas if you write, you research and things like that, or if you're breaking into some kind of career. It's great for promotions, growth, a specialization, becoming an expert. So it's just an amazing set of cards. And there is the sexual element and all of the good stuff that could contribute to a powerful love relationship. So very amazing cards in here. Let me know what you make of them. Let me know which area is playing out for you. Leave me your comments. I'm looking forward to them. And until we meet again, as always, thank you so much for watching and take very good care of yourself. Okay, this is for pile 4. I've got the second half of the Silhouettes deck. And we are gonna just shuffle a little bit and deal out your 9-card portrait. So this is for how that person is feeling about you, what they think of you, how they're feeling about you. Okay, pile 4. So this is the challenging reading of all the ones that I drew for this pick-a-card reading. You're the one who gets the whip, and it's right in the middle of the portrait. So clearly this is someone who is experiencing challenges in the relationship. They could be having doubts and second thoughts. We're seeing this clearly at the top, but I have to say that you have the Star and the Sun in the bottom row, and these are 2 of the most positive cards of the deck. So this is someone who's experiencing challenges, conflict. They are conflicted about you, how they feel about you, but I think there's going to be a resolution. They're going to come to terms with matters, whatever that matter is in your context, and I think you can look forward to a positive resolution moving forward. So the whip is really a conflict card. Maybe they're argumentative, maybe they're feeling competitive. That's also possible, but like I said, these really bright cards, they help resolve this and bring matters to terms. So let's get into some details here. We have the cross at the top and we have the sun. This is an interesting combination. The cross can be about burdens and challenges. It tends to be associated with guilt and pain. You know, that like a deeper emotional heaviness. It has to do with that sense of duty and responsibility, and so it can be heavy in these ways. But what's interesting about the cross is that it's also a card of destiny, and with a positive card like the sun, it can mean that this relationship is meant to heal, is meant to be. There is something about it that is important, that is more important than usual day-to-day relationships, and maybe that's why it comes with the whip. Like there is something, there's a big deal about it, you know, that you need to focus on. The Star and Mouse is a beautiful message of healing. The doubts and the mistrust and the issues that are brought by the mouse, but not only the mouse, but also the whip and the clouds, can be healed. So really, the sun is also a card of healing in this combination. Both of these corner card pairs bring about healing, resolution, and I would also say clarity, because both the Star and the Sun have light. And these cards here and the cross, they can have a sense of confusion, lack of clarity, lack of direction. So it's really nice to see those 2 cards at the bottom here in corner pairs with these. So these are clear indications that there will be resolutions. So let's get into the rows and columns. We have the cross and the clouds and mouse. So this is a challenging line. It clearly points to regrets and pain, and also confusion and challenges, doubts, mistrust. So I feel this is someone who is wondering not only how they feel about you, but they're also wondering how you feel about them. There is tension in the air. There is likely tension between the 2 of you, and they're feeling it. And you're probably feeling it too. Here, there's confusion. They don't know what to think. And they could be obsessing about this. They could be annoyed by this, hurt and upset. All of these are very likely. In the second row, we have the tree, whip, and bear. I think they are wanting to bring up the issues. The tree is maybe holding them back. They could be maybe waiting for the right time to bring up the issues. They're feeling conflicted, but I have to say that they're also angry. The whip and bear can mean that they're angry, and with the tree here, it could mean that they're taking a step back to cool off and to see how, when they sort of get back into the picture. The Star, Lily, and Sun is a beautiful combination of healing. The lily can be associated with health, as can the tree. So I'm not saying there are health issues, possibly, but it's more like the relationship, it has tensions and it has that heaviness. And the idea is that the star and sun come into the picture to heal this. The lily is also a card of the long term. It has to do with life and life path. So I feel that even though the challenges could be serious, still the healing is also, it endures. The healing happens and you could be back on track with this person for the long term. So it's really a pretty powerful combination for healing. And each of these cards is really supportive for wish fulfillment and all around success. And so coming together in a single line is pretty potent. And also they help overcome a lot of the challenges that we see in the other cards. Now the tree between the cross and star, that's another healing combination. I also think forgiveness is coming into play. We have the cross. It's a bit more than, it's a bit heavier. So this idea of burden and forgiveness can be lifted. With the tree here, it just means that it might take a bit of time. And also it's important to let the person come around, and maybe you need to come around as well. So really taking time for this, taking time out for this and allowing things to come into play. The clouds, whip, and lily is a challenging pair. We have the whip with the clouds, and this tension here needs to come out. So something probably boils over, and with the lily, it definitely rocks the boat. Again, it can be a physical challenge that affects the relationship or creates this fear or this upset. But I think it's metaphorical. I think it's more about how it affects your life, and it's more psychological. So clearly there could be an argument, maybe a separation for some time, but it's really important to unburden the matters, and it's important to clarify things, and this might cause things to be a bit messier before they become clearer. But because of the sun and the star, it's pretty clear that they will be clearer. And with the mouse, bear, and sun, I think we can look forward to a powerful recovery. I really feel that this relationship comes back into alignment, and you're able to recover the doubts and the issues that are indicated by the mouse in this part here. The sun is very powerful, and next to the bear, it enhances it. The bear makes everything big. It makes the challenges big, but it also makes the healing powerful. So it's working both ways. So clearly this is a challenging spread, but there is healing. This person wants to deal with the issues. I think they want to confront you about something, but they also want to work it out. Like they're willing to see the bright side of things, but it doesn't mean that the issues go unnoticed. The issues need to be dealt with. Forgiveness and healing need to happen. There needs to be awareness and clarity and insight into the picture. So it is a tough bottleneck, but you will cross onto the other side. And like we said, this is how the person is feeling about you. So they're feeling conflicted. They want to bring up the issues. They are upset. They could even be angry. They could be regretful. All sorts of emotions could be happening here. But there is also a desire to heal and to put things in the right perspective. So I hope you reciprocate, because I think this person, even though they're upset, I think they're coming from the right angle at this. Now, I did see these cards as pointing to a relationship. Like I looked at them as this is a relationship, but these issues, they can happen in another context. And in fact, the lily is often associated with work. So perhaps there's an issue on the job. This person, wants to keep you, but they might also be wondering, if this is the right fit, if you want to, in fact, continue with this project or the job, whichever way you operate in your work. And also, if there were issues, they need to be brought up. So I would say, in general, whether this is personal, work-related, professional, or in another area of your life, I think you want to be open to some honest feedback, and it's probably also mutual. Be willing to have a bit of a conflict here so that matters can be clarified. And at the same time, stand your ground and don't shy away from this. They probably have a point to make, but you might also have a point to make. So I'm not saying that they're justified and you're not at all. I'm just saying that there needs to be something that bubbles up, and you don't want to shy away from that. You want to let that happen so that the issues can be clarified. And also you want to be aware about how they feel, how they really feel, and hopefully that's also an opportunity for you to tell them how you feel. And that can happen in any context. But again, I think despite the challenges that we see in the top side, we do have two of the brightest cards of the deck figuring in the bottom row. So I think this can heal just a bit of a passage here. We can also look at the diamond just to sort of seal everything. We've got the tree, clouds, bear, and lily. The bear and lily tends to be associated with legal affairs or more serious affairs. And I'm seeing both the tree and the bear are strong and powerful, and the lily is a long-term card. So again, I think this puts the issues in perspective. This is a bottleneck. Even if it's big or heavy, I think it's something that you pass through. And then on the other side of that, there is a solid, long-term relationship that can continue moving forward. So we have a confirmation of that. I would also add, just like what we saw on the left-hand side column, with the clouds and tree, you want to take your time to figure out your thoughts and to clarify your thinking, where you stand relative to this. It's best to wait until you're clear about that before you open up the subject, if it's in your hands to do that. And they could be doing the same thing, So again, this idea of taking some time out to put things in perspective. And, probably because of the issues here, it might not be perfect. So there's still going to be some misunderstandings and issues that come up. But again, that's part of the process. We can tie also the corner cards with the central card. So the cross, whip, and sun is a pretty powerful combination. The whip and cross can point to things like punishment and possibly even avenging or wanting to avenge. They are feeling also guilt is possible through these heavy combinations. There is quite a bit of heavy emotion in the situation, but again, it's really nice to see the sun at the end of this. And similarly, we've got this star, whip, and mouse. So this really helps overcome the issues, the mistrust, the conflict, and the challenges. There's going to have to be a conflict. I really don't see a way around that. It's just that the whip in the center is really central. And in combination with all of these other cards, the message is really clear. But so it might be a tough hump to get over. But on the other side of this is a longer term, solid relationship, a renewal of trust, likely forgiveness that genuinely heals. So pile 4, you get the tougher cards, but there's still a positive message that ensues. Let me know how this is playing out in your relationship. Let me know if you feel it resonates. Leave me your thoughts and comments. And until we meet again, thank you so much for watching, as always, and take very good care of yourself.